China. And can you share some details of your interaction with President Xi this time? And also, if I may, another quick question on North Korea. Do you think it's possible?
DMZ. And so, but I will, as per your question about President Xi, he's a brilliant leader, he's a brilliant man, and you know better than I, he's probably considered to be one of the great leaders in 200 years in China. And we just have he's strong, he's tough, but he's good. We have a very good relationship. And I said, you know, we can't have it where the United States loses this kind of money for the privilege of building up China. It has to be a fair deal. And he understands that. But as he said, nobody ever came to us. It's true. No other president came to him. My presidency could be a lot easier. You're right. It's extremely, I wouldn't even say complicated, but very intricate. But in the meantime, I think our farmers are going to end up being the great beneficiary. And what I did with the farmers, because they did lose a certain amount of money, I went to Sonny Perdue, who's our Secretary of Agriculture. I said, Sonny, how much money in the best year did China spend on our farms, in our farms, buying? He said, the best year, about $16 billion. I said, okay, well, we're taking in much more than that now every year in tariffs. And I took $16 billion out of those tariffs, and essentially out of those tariffs. And we're just like anybody else, just in our country, that you graduate #1 in your class from the best school in the country, and they say you have to leave. We can't keep them. And we're going to make it, we're going to call it the smart person's waiver, but we're going to make it so that they can not only stay, but maybe they have access to green cards. We want to keep these people here. We have to keep. Yeah, go ahead, John. Sure, that could happen, but we're holding on tariffs, and they're going to buy farm product. So, you know, but that could happen, John. This doesn't mean there's going to be a deal, but they would like to make a deal, I can tell you that. And if we could make a deal, it would be a very historic event. You know, we've never really had a deal with China. We've had tremendous deficits, tremendous amounts of money was put into China, $500 billion a year, and I mean, you know, not just surplus and deficit. I'm talking about real hard cash. And it should have never, ever been allowed to have happened for all of our presidents. Sure, I would. I'd feel very comfortable doing that. I would have no problem. Well, it might happen tomorrow. I mean, to be honest. We won't call it a summit. We'll call it a handshake if it does happen. I don't know that it will, but it could happen. I think he'd like to do it, and I wouldn't mind doing it at all. I'm literally visiting the DMZ. Of course, I thought of that because I know if he didn't, everybody's going to say, oh, he was stood up by Chairman Kim. No, I understood that. It's very hard to, he follows my Twitter. And
he does.
It's very hard. Yeah,
he follows
I guess so, because we got a call very quickly. Okay. A lot of people follow it. But, you know, they've contacted us and they'd like to see if they could do so. And we're not talking about for, you know, extended, just a quick hello. And we get along. I get along with him. And
my respected friends, today is June 30th. Good morning. In the United States and the Manhattan Himalayas Embassy, together with me is Mr. Bannon, my good friend. And Mr. Bannon, in the morning, this morning, and 6 o'clock this morning, flew back to New York, coming to the Himalayas Embassy. That is why he's our good friend, because he just flew in 6 a.m. to see us. Thank you very much. Now, in the past few days, he's been coming.
大家刚才看到了这个川普总统这个视频啊 ，G20的一个总结性的讲话，和这个刚刚发生的北朝鲜的见面，意义重大。我本来我们是想等几天，过2天再直播，但是班农先生 啊，在遥远的外面说不 ，Miles， 我们现在就直播，我们需要说话，需要行动。OK， 所以说我们今天坐在这里，先简单的请班农先生呢来谈一下子这个 G20 啊 ，G20 到底意味着什么啊？很多战友都在问这个问题，我在看大家关心的问题，还有 G20 上有没有谈香港？G20 是不是真的就是对华为已经彻底的给解禁了？先请石林班农先生说一下。
Yeah, one thing, Miles, one of the reasons I wanted to come back, I was at the southern border in Arizona, but to come back and be on Guo Media and talk to all the people in mainland China and Hong Kong, I do think that there's a little bit of hyper reaction to what went on in G20 in Osaka. What we know publicly is that President Trump not putting in the second layer of sanctions, of tariffs, was already agreed to prior to Osaka just to get the meeting. Remember, President Trump made the phone call, right, number one. Number two, in talking to Xi, there was already an agreement not to put in the second round of tariffs, and the Chinese media leaked that to even get the meeting. Also, Xi had already signaled they were going to buy more agriculture products. So the two big talking points coming out of there were already talked about. I think the key thing that people should take away is that this was all about a process. It's what I said on CNBC the other morning. This was about restarting a process to see if both sides had come to a deal. They're very far apart. There's a big gap between the bid and the ask. That spread is big. I happen to think it's even getting bigger, potentially getting bigger. The CCP has been at economic war with the West for 15 or 20 years, as we've talked about, on your broadcast many times, Miles. Essentially, they've enslaved the Chinese people to a degree to drive down wages, to then deindustrialize the West. The transaction that Trump had on the table, the 175-page document, very specifically goes through transparency, accountability, and enforceability on a trade deal, on a significant trade deal. And the key to that is to go forward and get that deal, which is deeper than just trade. It deals with technology, it deals with currency manipulation, it deals with all of these 7 verticals about the Chinese economy. I happen to think what Trump did in Osaka was to really start to lay out how detailed this is going to be and how much time it's going to take. I said on CNBC the other day that I thought this would go into 2020, that this would go into the election season of next year. And coming out of Osaka, I even believe that more. I think that what President Trump understands he has to do in negotiating with Xi and negotiating with the CCP is that he has to bring along 3 constituencies. Number 1, the global capital markets. It's just not the stock markets, also the bond markets. He's got to bring along the capital markets to agree to a deal. Number 2, he has to bring along the corporations. Last week, 600 corporations sent him a letter saying, we want you to back off all the tariffs. So he has to bring those along for a tough deal. And number 3, and I think this is the most important now, he has to bring along the American people and the political class in Washington, D.C. We have seen over the last week, and you saw this in the Twitter feed, there is a large number of the American political class that are getting to the right of Trump, to getting more tough on CCP. So I think there's a big gap where this deal is. I think Lighthizer and Lee Hus start the process here in the next couple of days. We can talk about Huawei in a minute, about the meetings that take place in Washington on that, but this is going to be a long, lengthy, detailed process, and I don't think people should look at Osaka, and I've told people on the right the hawks, don't look at it as a defeat. Look at it as Trump, putting down a marker to try to show for the 2020 election he's gone overboard to try to accommodate China in the CCP and trying to see if there's a real deal there that they would stick to that goes about the fundamental restructuring of their economic order. I don't think you actually get there at the end of the day, but I think Trump is going to show, is starting now a process to go do that. That could take anywhere from 6 months to 9 months to a year or longer. And that's what I think they're starting. That's what I think they're going to start Monday in Washington, Beijing.
星期一的话，我们看到更加多的事情的。
谢谢。
Thank you, Mr. Bannon.
我现在呢，还想再重新问一下子班农先生问题，在这个大阪上有没有谈到香港的这个抗议的问题？很多人在关心。
I am not sure Hong Kong got brought up. I don't know if any of the side issues besides Huawei got brought up in here. I'm not so sure of discussions about arms sales to Taiwan. I'm not sure about strategic issues in the South China Sea. And I'm not sure Hong Kong actually got brought up. I believe they should have been brought up and they were essential to bring up. And Pompeo was in the room. But I think that, remember, this meeting was not a long meeting. It was only about 80 minutes long. I think that was just enough time to talk about where they were and how far apart they were, what they had done to even get there. Remember, afterwards, we just saw that here on the press conference afterwards. The Chinese officials had already leaked that they would not even consider a deal that didn't have all the tariffs.
中国的一些的媒体已经把一些的消息呢去这个的说给媒体当中听到很多的信息。那么但是我说的话呢，是在80分钟的谈判当中呢，其实香港呀、台湾呀，以及是南中国海啊，是被谈到的。我觉得他们是错失了这个的机会。其实呢，我认为他们应该要谈到涉及到这一方面的事情的。但是呢，在这个的大阪当中，我可以说呢是有很多的东西是没有被谈到。但是我知道是香港，我觉得呢，如果是香港来说呢，中国方面是非常的强硬的。如果是在这个的 G20当中是谈到香港的话，可能都没有这个的会议可以开了，因为这个呢将是会把整个的谈判呢是破坏了。所以的话呢，我觉得是没有谈到的。香港现在是第3个的轨道是必须要谈的。
刚才班农先生这个回答香港问题，基本上告诉了大家，就是说可能因为时间的问题，还有中方对这件事情的严肃和害怕吧，可能美方根本就没有谈。如果谈的话，那房间里边可能就会开不成了。大家呢，就是说一定要看到，美国并不像大家想象的样子。那么强大，美国也不会像你想象的一样，想干什么干什么。在我们旁边的班农先生是在白宫出来的。我们也经常谈到这样的问题。美国内部的政治考量和个人政治家的考量，远远大于我们所想象的话题。所以 G20 这个没有谈论香港，在我们预料之中，这个中美之间谈判。但我们很高兴地看到了，在中国外交部说绝不允许谈香港的时候，日本首相谈了。班农先生，你怎么看？
I think Hong Kong, with the two huge demonstrations and what's happened since then, and then with this big demonstration potentially tomorrow on Turnover Day, and the ability that Carrie Lam, or the reality that Carrie Lam has kind of gone into hiding, right? Hong Kong has basically made themselves, they've put themselves on the world media map by not backing off. And I think that is
然后
why
站在这
the
个国际的媒
CCP
体
is so
的前
absolutely
面。
afraid of
那么所以
anybody
的话
at
呢，
any kind
他
of
们
official
这个的
function
让共
talking
产党
about
是非
Hong
常
Kong
害
now.
怕。
Hong Kong is the
香港
single most
是现在是唯一
dangerous thing
最
for
危险
event
的
for the
一个的
CCP because it shows young
中国共产党
people
关注的一个的前提，
protesting for free
因为
market
是他们
capitalism
是
and
要
democracy
示威，而且的
in
话
one of
呢，
the
他们
great
希望是
financial
在一个的
capitals
自由
of
的
the
资本的市场
world.
当中
It's
去进行
absolutely
各种的
stunning what's
示威
going on.
所以的话
And
呢，
I
中
think
国
the
现
Hong
在
Kong
是非
people
常
should
的害怕
understand。they've got
那么香
tremendous
港
latent power
其实呢，
in
其实
everything
香港
that
人
they
要知
do.
道，他们其实手上呢掌握了很巨
The
大
other
的
thing I
一种
think
的
that
力量，
Osaka,
还有是
I
国际上的支持。在
think
大
it's
阪，
pretty evident that
我
the
们很
Osaka
明显的看到，
situation
在
shows
大阪
that
的情况，我们可以看到。
the United States has tremendous
美国
power over China, not just in the
其实
trade
也是有
situation
很
where
大
increased
的这个
tariffs
的力量，
would even
是对付着这个的中国，
rock
不
the
仅仅是在
Chinese
贸易
economy，more.
还有就是
But on the
在很多的
technology
市
side,
场
remember
方面
this is an
有
economic
很
war.
多
Just
的
don't
这
think
个
this
的
is a
巨大
trade
的
deal.
力量。
Economic
那
war,
么
it's
他
got
们
a
是可以有
finance vertical
那么比如
about
说是
the
这个的
RMB,
经济
the
上啊，在这
devaluations.
个的
It's
人民
got
币当
a
中，他们
tech
也是
vertical
持
about all
有
the
一个的很
technology.
强大
It's
的
got
一种的这个
a
的
trade vertical.
力量，
That
还有是贸易
tech
当中
vertical,
也
I
是有
mean,
很大的一个的谈判的力量。习近
and
平
the entire
还有
senior apparatus of the
还有是
CCP
他们
is
整个
absolutely
的
petrified
中国共产
in
党
this
的
Huawei
整个的
shutdown.
团队呢，他们
The
很害
United
怕
States
是
can
华为是被
basically
关
put
掉，
Huawei out
或
of
者是被
business
破坏。
in a
所
very
以的
short
话呢，
period of
他
time,
们
just so they could have done ZTE.
那么因为
That's
的话
why
呢，他们
they've
如果
been
是
saying
除了
if
华为，我们
Huawei's
还有
not
是
on the
中兴。
table,
那么所以
then
的
we're
话
not
呢
going to get to a
华为
deal.
的话
I
呢，
think
所
when
以
you look
呢，
in the
他
United
们
States
是
and
希望是
now
把
Western
华为就
Europe,
是
there's
带
been
回
enough
去
people
重回这个的
that
正
have been
常的轨
aroused
道。那么所以他
by
们
the
是用
fact
华
that
为作为
Huawei's part of the
各种各样
PLA.
的这个谈
That's
判
going to
的
be
棋
very
子。
tough to
那
end
么所
Huawei
以的
in
话
as a
呢，
negotiation.
那么
President
现在
Trump said,
华为是
we're
一
going to
个
hold
的棋
Huawei
子
to，
那
the
么当
very
然的
end.
话呢，我们
I
美国
think
手上
that
还是
the
掌握着
reality is
华为
that
这一个
national
的棋子
security，
可以是
experts
进
in all
进
the
行一个的
West
谈判当中
realize
的一
that
个的
Huawei's
棋子。
network
那
service
么，
business
那么。
where it gets access to the data is
那么，
absolutely
因为现在是华为，他们这个的数据的网络是实在是太过的巨大，他们的很多的零配件都是可能是有一些的问题的。那么，所以的话呢，我们也是非常的关注。那么，我们将会回去这个的特朗普总统，他们是在5月15号的时候签署这个的文件的时候呢，他已经是谈到。那么，因为呢，但是因为这个的华尔街他们的话呢，是被为特朗普带来很大的这一些的这个的压力，所以的话呢，他是面对着各方面的压力，所以呢，他必须要是做的非常的这个的平衡。那么美国有很多的，我们还是有很大的这个的谈判的力量，但是同时间的话呢，我们也是这个的当中的复杂性是非常的强烈的。所以的话呢，如果是我们把整个的华为或者中兴的整个的网络被隔离或者是被破坏的话呢，我们对于我们来说还是掌握着一个的强势的。
刚才班农先生谈到这个华为了，我们今天可以说是全世界华人当中最关心的一个，除了香港问题，华为是第2个核心问题。我这次在这个会议之前，我们就得到了消息，说华为孟晚舟可能会被释放，中共呢会在这事上和美国总统呢会作为重大的交易条件。那么华为看来目前是，到底是孟晚舟会被回去，华为会彻底解除制裁，还是说只卖给他零部件？这件事情的发展现在你觉得会怎么样？
那么如果是他被释放的话呢，我觉得甚至太坏了这个的情况。那么我觉得我们必须要是让他是在美国是受审的。那么但是的，他可能会成为一个的这个的，这也是成为他可能会这个的改变他的立场，他成为我们的证人来到指证这一个的华为也可以。那么所以的话呢，但是现在对于我们来说，情况是比较是这个的凶险。因为的话呢，我们必须要是了解，其实现在是一个的怎么样，我们要是 Mark 或者是这个的 Rubio， 他们也必须要是同意，然后来到呢去这个的引渡孟晚舟，让他受审。那么当然的话呢，但是现在呢是总统面前有很多的压力。所以我们必须要是非常的小心来到处理这个的问题，而且是在国会呢也是有很大的压力。 所以现在呢，在市场当中，还有是在外面呢，有很多的谣言。那么现在又充满了这个的华为啊，还有是这个的北朝鲜各方面的这一些的谣言。那我们现在呢，其实，在国会当中，现在已经是看到是呢，华为是一个的国家安全的一个的问题，所以的话呢，我们必须要是他们也知道是华为是对于国防当中来说呢是一个的危险，所以的话呢，我们必须要是更加的小心的来到处理这个事情，我们不会那么简单的释放它的。
请把川普总统关于这个华为的事件那个推文的中译版推上来，还有罗比奥的议员的。我们从这里请我们从这个班农先生，我们要请问的问题，所有的战友们和所有的朋友们都问的问题啊。这个无数个人在问这个问题。这次华为事件呢，就是看清楚了啊。这个大家看到了，这是 Michael Rubio 的这个，他本人啊已经明确的说出来，大家都在说。现在呢，你找了个理由，开了个会，你就把人家你给放了。这放了以后的结果，不是你华为人家这个你放不放的问题，是你美国这个事儿一个国家严不严肃的问题。一会儿说人家不行了啊，一会儿就说人家行了，然后一会儿就放了，你太不严肃了。美国的信誉度将出大问题啊。然后川普总统呢，他发出的这个推特也看出来。这完全你的决定可能是跟习主席个人关系，或者是在交易中，那你美国这个国家就有没有法律啊？你美国这个国家要的严不严肃，可不可信呢？啊
Can we go to the previous the Rubio?
Yeah， 回到那 Rubio 这个议员。
I want to take this one time. The key one, the others two are very important, right? He calls. In sequence, the one on the far right, if President Trump had agreed to reverse recent sanctions against Huawei, he's made a catastrophic mistake.
就是说是，如果是特朗普呢是同意这个的释放华为盟主的话呢，他就是犯了一个的非常重大的灾难性的一个的错误。那其实你看到他的这个的用语呢是非常重要的，灾难性的那个的错误。另外来说呢，也是说是，而且的话呢，那么，而且的话呢，我们也必须要是了解到呢，他说是特朗普总统必须要是通过司法的程序来到呢去对华为进行一个的这个的制裁。那么，但是呢是在国会当中是需要是67票的同意才可以做得到这个事情的。那么。那当然呢 ，Rubio 竟然会觉得呢是有这一个的需要，要把这一点是说出来，那是非常的重要的一个的信息。他是希望是，其实他是提出这个的信息的话呢，就是等于说是要求是国会。这个的认真的看待这个的事情，还有政策上的事情以及是立法上的事情。那么，而且呢，其实特朗普总统现在谈判的话，他并不能够是也是每天是关注着台湾的情况，也是呢非常的跟他们有很多的谈论，所以我们要支持国民党，又或者是让他们更对中国更加的关系是更加的紧密的话，当然是我们是更加的那个的，我们是很了解的。那么如果是这样的话呢，台湾就是被这个的中国是侵蚀。那么所以我们都非常了解这个的事情。那么台湾、香港，当然我们都是理解的。那么就是说是呢，他们中国是希望是纳入香港，已经是台湾成为是中国的其中一个省份。但是的话，我们希望是维持他们的独立性。那么香港的话呢，也是在美国人的心目中呢，它地位是很高的。台湾就是随着他们紧的随后吧，我们也是非常关心他们的。
这个班农先生事实上他说的很清楚，他就是香港比台湾重要啊，选分的话一定是香港是。但是呢，我要给台湾的说啊，我要给台湾的这个朋友们说， 在一系列的事件上证明，任何事靠谁也不如靠自己。美国这个国家是可以利用的力量，最终决定输赢一定是在美国。决定输赢在美国，并不等于他就可以全面说了算。你当你自己、你的力量和你的实力达到一定程度的时候，美国会站在你这一边。美国很现实，非常现实啊！所以台湾人民也记住，跟共产党除了硬扛那是不行的，你要到美国来进行政治游说，合法的，在美国要会利用美国的这个钟摆效应啊，两党政治，就像共产党现在玩的游戏一样，比他还大胆，比他还要激进，你才在美国能赢。在 G20这个问题上，告诉了更多的台湾人和香港人，自己要强大，要学会在美国内部和美国人沟通建立关系，要利用美国的这个政治，千万不要理想化的认为这是信仰啊，这是不可能的。就像我们的爆料革命一样，我们绝对不能依靠美国或哪个人或哪个组织，那是神经病，等于自杀行为。但是决定爆料革命能不能干到共产党的啊，取决于最后的一刻，美国力量是至关重要的啊。那么我们同样的事情，像班农先生跟我们坐在一起，那么已经造成了共产党极端的恐惧和害怕。现在罗比欧议员呐，庞比奥国务卿啊，John Bolton 呐，是吧？还有很多的美国人啊，都跟我们站在一起。当下危机委员会啊，如果再多一些的话，中共一定是要跟你交易的，一定要服软的。你找其他国家人，他根本不搭理你，他一屁把你给崩回去了，是吧？但关键到最后，还是我们是否有实力，是否有坚强的意志，而深信共产党是邪恶，是必须要被干掉、被灭掉的。而且这两天一看到G20，很多人失望了，这种失望让我很开心，因为当你失望的时候，你会冷静；当你失望的时候，一个你放弃，一个你让你自己更加强大，找到更加适合你的战斗方式。班农先生绝对是个伟大的政治家、战士啊！我给他说了以后，当时发信息，他说：“Miles，绝对我们要继续战，肯定赢。”我非常佩服。
Miles, I don't think I've heard better advice to anybody. Is at the end of the day, it's going to be dependent upon
你的信念那么的强而有力，你给了香港、台湾的人很好的这个的意见。是的，所有的事情必须要是依靠着大家自己。那么，美国或者西方在要了解到你们是为你们自己的自由而战，那么其实大阪只不过是我们长期的一个的战争，或者是这个的谈判当中那么他们这一些的年轻人，还有是老百姓，他们是那么好的一些的人，他们在示威的同时间还会呢维持着这个的这个的治安啊，或者是这个的和平啊。那么所以的话，他们是非常的尊敬。那么所以的话呢，全世界看到的话呢，他看着这个的香港，他们觉得呢，尽管是有这个示威，他们会觉得这个的民间有很大的这个的自律性，还有这个的，所以的话他们不会乱的。但是呢，我觉得文贵你的意见是非常的好，完全是要靠自己。
谢谢。庄先生啊，就庄，你把班农先生那个战友们，我们看一下视频，班农先生。